He bowled with pace, fought through injuries, and then found a second life behind the mic. Whether it's spotting the next young talent or explaining why modern cricket moves at a different speed, his perspective always cuts through the noise.
Remember that it's not about the commentators, it's about the players. That's a shame, Dwayne. Absolute disgusting shame that Pollard has more IPL titles than you.
Ian Bishop. Let's play.
Sir, let's start with some warm-up, okay? So is it true that you wanted to become a spinner and you actually opened the batting as well or played as a specialist batsman?
It's a long story. At school, I started out like everyone else, started out as a batter because that's a more glamorous thing in cricket. And then we had a very important game to play. I think it was against Brian Lara's Fatima College, and one of my opening bowlers couldn't make it. I think his mom banned him because he wasn't doing his schoolwork very well.
His mom banned him?
Yes, his mom said you can't play. And I decided to try to fill the gap. And I tried off spin. A couple of balls didn't turn. So then I decided to stretch my run out and bowl a little bit of seam. So that's the evolution. That's how it began actually, purely by accident.
And when did you play as a specialist batsman?
I opened the batting at school.
Okay.
A lot of fast bowlers have that story. You talk to Michael Holding and guys like that, and there's so many around the world who start out as batters because fast bowling is hard work. So very few people gravitate to it straight away. So they used to call me Jeffrey Boycott at school because I couldn't hit the ball off the square anywhere. So batting was my first love.
Okay, and who is the one young fast bowler from today's generation who makes you sit up?
Oh, Jofra Archer.
Okay.
There's no doubt Jofra Archer for me in terms of the athleticism of his run-up, his bowling technique, and of course when he's on song, he's the guy that makes me wake up out of my sleep.
So you came from an era of long spells. So today it's just 4 overs. So is that limiting bowlers' mentality?
Is it limiting bowlers' mentality? I only repeat that for the sake of processing it. Look, I think there are advantages to it and there are disadvantages. From the point of view, 4 overs, you can go in full blast. Because when you're playing, let's say, a test match and you have to bowl 20 overs in a day, you pace yourself. So every over and every spell is not a top pace. But I think in a 4-over spell, in a T20 game, another spell, but 4 overs, you can afford to go hard every over. So. But from the point of view of stamina and long-term planning, that's the one thing you probably don't get as much in a T20 4 overs per match.
So do the modern generation players understand the patience as you did?
Well, patience is only one aspect of bowling. T20 in itself has its own skill level that is required to be accurate, to have variation, to land the variation. Whereas, as you rightly said, in the longest form of the game, you have to have a little bit more patience, you have to plan a little bit more long term. So I don't think it's a denigration, so to speak, on one format or the other. It's just that each format requires different skills from those bowlers.
Okay. So I think we have warmed up quite well. So let's.
As you can see, I'm sweating.
So let's move on to the next segment.
Sir, so this segment is power play. So let's talk about IPL and young talent.
Okay.
So it feels like every season a completely unknown player suddenly becomes a star overnight. So how real is that jump?
How real is the jump? I think it's a good thing. It's a hard thing for a number of players, let's say a Saqib Hussain, who hasn't played or who didn't play senior cricket to any large extent, to come into an IPL season and bowl against the best players in the world and to have some success. I think it's very difficult because you're coming up against guys who've been learning their skills, plying their skills against the best. So I think it's a great thing about the IPL in that it shows now that there's a lot of talent across India that is only now being unearthed through the indirect systems. They don't go through necessarily first-class cricket or domestic senior cricket. And the more that happens is the better, because what you'll find is that there are gaps that used to be filled by a lot of overseas players, and now India is finding out, oh, we have local talent that can do it as well.
Yeah. So you look at names like Vaibhav Suryavanshi or Prince Yadav coming through. How much of its talent and how much of its scouting systems?
I think the scouting system is brilliant. All these guys that we talk about, the Sakibs, etc., the Vaibhavs, so many more. You go back to wrist spinners, left arm spinners that have come into the game through the scouting system. Jasprit Bumrah himself from many years ago was scouted by John Wright. And I think I wish that system would be something that we would be able to implement more, certainly where I come from in the Caribbean, because I also think we have a number of talents that are not being seen because we don't have people in those areas.
So when you see like a player like Abhishek Sharma who has changed the dimensions of opening batting right now, so do you think the mindset is born mindset or he has created that mindset?
Some of it is natural because you have different generations of people. For example, the generations, some of them that come out of Test cricket, the Test cricket era, the red ball era, are taking a little bit longer to acclimate themselves to the all-out aggression. It's happening, but it takes a little time. Whereas you have Vaibhav who's come in and he's just gone straight away, the Priyansh Aryas and the Prab Simrans who are younger and who are more acclimated to teeing off from ball one. So you're getting a meshing of generations. Both generations have something to benefit each other, but it is wonderful watching Abhishek, who's perhaps a bridge in the middle of the Suryavanshis and the previous generation.
So you have been following so many leagues across the world. So how is IPL different from other leagues in terms of exposure and talent?
IPL is the highest profile. Of course, from a talent perspective, it has more talent from across the world. The widest range of talent is embodied here in the IPL. Of course, you've got the remuneration because of that market, but I think strictly from a talent perspective, IPL has the most talent conglomerated in one place.
So if you were 20 today, would IPL fast track your career or confuse it?
I'm not sure actually, because I'm not sure I'd be good enough. These guys are really good. You know, these modern players are not afraid of fast bowling. You have to be the fastest of the fastest. When we see Jofra Archer, when we see Jasprit Bumrah at his best, it's pace, but it's also skill. So I'm not sure I would fit into this class of talent that we see in the IPL.
So what separates a one-season wonder from long-term IPL legend?
A number of things separate the one-season wonders. First of all, you have to have the desire to always improve. Because of people like yourself and all these cameras around here, you are always recording players. You're always sitting down. People get paid to sit and dissect the weaknesses and strength of a player. So the player coming in has to be made aware that even if he has incremental success or success in that first year, people are looking for chinks in the armor. They are being paid to do that. And so you always have to try to keep learning. In our industry as well, we have to always try to be better tomorrow than we were today. And so that's the advice I would give to young players. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop learning. Don't stop learning.
So the next segment is about commentary box stories.
Uh-huh.
No better than me. So social media is crazy about how you keep telling stories about your talent. What is your process behind it, and how do you prepare before the match day?
Look, I don't know that what I do is different from any other commentator. Everybody does research. I don't ask anyone else how they research, but I know that the guys do their research. So for me, being a Christian, a born-again Christian, the numbers are one thing, but I like to know the people behind the numbers. For one reason, that I believe that my journey is, as is your journey, is to help people feel better about themselves, to build up heroes so that generations coming behind us have something to look at and aspire to. Because the young kid who isn't wealthy wants to know, can I make it? can I one day be as good as this person, Atharva Sudame,
Yeah.
right? And if I find out about those things and I reload those stories, the people listening will say, a parent might say, oh, so that's the sacrifice it takes to do that. So then my son or daughter can do it. And so I enjoy reading background stories. I enjoy going into social media or the internet and finding out through newspapers and collating stories from different sources. No one source, just multiplicity of sources. Because if I wasn't playing cricket, I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And so that human interest side comes naturally to me.
Okay, so when you called Carlos Bradford, remember the name.
Uh-huh.
So at that time, did you realize that it would become so famous?
No, at that time I didn't think anybody listened to anything I said, to be quite honest with you. And that was only because of a great talking about teaching. There's a gentleman that works for the ICC. He used to work here in India. His name is Ajesh Ramachandran. And I remember him pulling us aside, a group of us, in our discussions, and said that every moment you have to be able to relay and speak to that moment, because it is something that will be played for many years to come. So be ready in that moment, not with a scripted line, but with words that would be able to tell that story to future generations. And as it so happened, I've told this story before. I had gone to a function 2 days before that final, and I did a Q&A, and one guy asked me if there was anyone else apart from the Chris Gales and the Bravos that we should look forward to in the final. And Carlos came to my mind because I knew personally how hard Carlos had been working in the build-up to the tournament, in the build-up to the year with his bowling and stuff. And I said, Carlos Brathwaite, remember that name. He's built like a house and he can have an impact. So that is what came out in that moment.
Okay, so was there any moment where you had to control your emotions on air?
Oh yeah, I think it's easier now to control, let's say, if West Indies are playing, or if there's a player that I know of his journey personally.
Yeah.
I become invested in that, as you would if you knew my background as well. And in the early years, it took some controlling of that emotion, but now I find it a lot easier.
Okay.
There are still times when the emotions come into it, and I think that emotion is a good thing.
Yeah.
I do it because to go out there and commentate like a robot wouldn't be a great thing. So you move with the highs and lows of the game. But what I try to make sure is that I am as fair as possible to both sides.
Okay.
If it's Sunrisers Hyderabad, I try to express myself with as much joy if it's Sunrisers Hyderabad winning, if it's Rajasthan Royals winning, if it's Mumbai Indians winning.
So who is the most funniest commentator you have worked with?
Danny Morrison.
Okay.
Without a doubt, Danny is an absolute comic. I don't know how he gets his lines out. I often ask him, I said, do you go back into your room and think about these things? Oh, I didn't. I've never asked him actually, because I've just been amazed at him. So I don't know how he comes up with it.
So you are known as one of the calmest boys in cricket. But to be honest, has there ever been a moment in commentary where you almost lost it?
Lost it? Lost it in what sense?
In any sense. Going back to the room, you felt that you had lost it?
Going back to the room, every day I think I look back on every single day at work and I think I could have done that better when I'm on my way back to the room. I could have explained that better. I could have taken my time with that.
That's a typical artist mindset.
Is it?
They are never satisfied.
Well, you should have told me this about 20 years ago. I would have gone easier on myself, you see. So, okay, if that is the case, then yeah, every day. Because again, we're relaying stories, right? As you relay stories. And so we want those stories to impact as many people as possible in a positive way. And so every day I want to be better than I was yesterday, as you would do the same. So yeah, every day I beat myself up. I need to stop that actually.
So which is that commentator who prepares the least but still sounds brilliant on the air?
I wouldn't know who prepares the least. No, I wouldn't. I mean, preparation, you see, what people, it's hard for many people on the outside to see how a commentator prepares, because that happens in your room. That happens weeks, for me anyway, days and weeks before the tournament starts. And then on the day of a match, like we have a game tonight, I'll be in my room from morning trying to go through the numbers, how this guy performed, how these guys perform, what could be the crunch moment. So you don't necessarily see the preparation of your co-commentator unless you're in that person's room, and I'm not going to be in anybody else's room, right? So that's, I think everybody prepares. Some guys like to write stuff down. I like to write stuff down. Because I think it sticks in your mind. Not that I'm going to read it out.
It's a part of the preparation.
Yeah, I find when I write stuff, I remember it.
Okay. So if commentary was a T20 team, who would open and who would finish?
Who would open and who would finish? Batting wise, that's a very good question. When Dinesh Karthik works with us, I'd put him to finish.
Yeah, he would finish.
But he's got bigger things on his plate now. He's assistant coach at RCB. Who would open? Let me see. Around the commentators that we have in the IPL, I'm looking for an opening batter. I probably put Katie Martin up the top. She likes to give it a little smash when she played for New Zealand. Danny Morrison would go last, absolute last. He'd bring up the tail, but he would use the new ball. I'd have him using the new ball and swinging it. I'd sit comfortably on the sidelines and watch what's going on. So Michael Clark would bat in the middle.
Okay.
I'd have Clark in the middle.
Okay, so that was a great segment. So let's move on to the next segment.
All right.
So sir, this segment is global cricket. So is cricket becoming too fast for its own good?
No, I don't think that. Well, first of all, let me say, I think that question is perhaps partly supposed to go to the younger generation, people your age, not only people my age, because people my age are accustomed to, we grew up in Test cricket and one-day cricket, but the world has moved. Social media makes things move a lot faster. So I don't think, I'm not yet ready for T10 or T5. I think T20 sits very well with me because all the action is very immediate. The chess moves that from ball to ball, I love it from the point of view that you can see the tactics playing out with almost each ball and every over. So I think we're good right now. If it goes to T10, and there already is T10, maybe I'll have to look and see how that goes.
So a lot of people say that 50 overs cricket is going to die. So what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not prophetic. That's not one of my skills. I'll be brutally honest. I think 3 formats does take some scheduling. But I still think, for example, that a 50-over World Cup holds great value and great allure. And that's in the mind of the players, not just people like me sitting now on the outside of the game. So how much further that goes will be dependent on the market. The market decides those things. People your age, younger, was it Gen Z? They call them. So they will decide whether they want a slightly longer passage and chapter of play because 50 overs offers you that, or whether T20 sits well with everyone.
Okay. So are young players skipping the grind of Test cricket too early?
I think there are still many players who like Test cricket. I'm a lover of Test cricket, but that's because I grew up on it. I think Test cricket has a lot to offer society still. It's like reading a book, a good book, and going through the chapters. It's like watching a nice movie, deep movie. And I still believe that Test cricket offers a lot of value. You can see when a World Test Championship is on in different parts of the world, even in the Caribbean where the crowds don't come to the ground as much anymore. I don't know whether that's because our Test team is not as highly ranked as it used to be, or whether they just come in from work, incrementally have a look, go back to work, take the kids out, have another look and move. So I would still like to hope that Test cricket has some value. But again, the market will decide that, not Ian Bishop, not yourself.
So the test, do you think that the test championship should have a different window?
I'm hearing talk about that again. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. And that side of the administration, it would make sense really for Test cricket to have a portion of the year.
Yeah.
But because it's played in so many countries at different times, summer in Australia is a different climatic atmospheric conditions at the same time to maybe in England or in India. So that's the great challenge of that, is how you structure it. But I'd certainly like to see Test cricket have its own space, because then it would have its own value. And I still think there's great value from a broadcasting perspective. You're able to tell different stories, to relay different points of information. And it also is a great test in a different way from the white ball formats of the game. So it has great value still. But again, the players and the market will decide.
So what's the biggest misconceptions that the fans have about the modern players?
Misconception. I think there is a misconception that sometimes players don't necessarily care, or that they don't necessarily work hard. And I think it's a wrong misconception. Because I think most players know that this is their job. And if we mess up at our job,
Yeah.
we lose our job.
Yeah.
And then you can't look after your family.
Yeah.
And you know, the corporate world, as you know, the 8 to 4 grind or
Yeah.
9 to 5 grind is a serious
Yeah.
business, right? So what you don't see with players is how hard they work at training, how hard they work in the gym, how much travel it takes to move from one place to the other and still prepare yourself. Living in a hotel room is not for everyone.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see those things as a fan. And as a fan, all you're looking at is the win or loss, the runs made and the wickets taken. And so I find I'm a big basketball fan.
Okay.
And when the Lakers don't play well, quietly to myself, I'm angry. Because I sometimes think, why this player's not doing well?
Yeah.
And then I remember, as a cricketer,
Yeah.
I trained hard and I didn't have success every day. So I understand why fans get upset. I do get upset sometimes, but sometimes you have to pull yourself back and recognize human beings can't be successful every day.
Yeah. So which country is doing the player development best right now?
Player development best right now? I think I would have to unequivocally, as far as white ball cricket is concerned, say India. Because we keep seeing these young players, young batters, young bowlers popping up from everywhere. And I want to specifically say bowlers as well, because we talk about batters, but I see so many young fast bowlers coming through. So India has to be doing something right. We talk about the amount of money that India has managed to procure. But I would think that all these academies that we're seeing, or the extensive state cricket, and there are people who say it's too much in India, and it could always be better. But I think from the unearthing talent in white ball cricket, India are out front of everyone else. They can almost have 2 or 3 teams sometimes in, let's say, a T20 tournament.
Okay, so the next few segments are fun segments.
Fun.
Yeah. So the first segment
I'm
is...
not a funny guy.
So sir, this is the Grace the Cricketer challenge.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this is the cricketer. And hint is he's a part of the Indian team right now.
Right.
So can you guess from his arm?
From his arm?
Yeah.
How hard is this game? Piyush Chawla beat me like an egg the other day in one of these.
So I will give you a hint. He's not playing anymore. He's in the coaching staff
He's in the coaching staff.
of the Indian team.
Oh, Mone Moklo.
Yeah, right. This He has won the purple cap in the IPL.
He has won the purple cap in the IPL.
The initial seasons.
Indian cricketer?
No, not Indian.
Non-Indian cricketer.
The
South
initial
African.
seasons.
South African
No,
cricketer.
no.
Yes, he is South African cricketer.
He's Pakistan. He's from Pakistan.
How do I? That's like 2008 or 9 or something.
Yeah, 8. He has won the purple cap.
He won the purple cap.
First purple cap holder.
Salil Phatak?
Yeah.
He was part of KKR RCB and Kings 11 Punjab in the IPL.
Yeah.
God, that's too far back, man. That's how far back is that? Give me a hint.
He has also won the orange cap as a batsman. He is from the Caribbean. Left-handed batsman.
Oh, Chris Gayle.
Yeah.
I should have known that from those shoulders.
And the last 3.
Uh-huh.
So I will tell the clues.
Uh-huh.
He won the purple cap in the IPL.
Uh-huh.
He has also won the Champions Trophy. Beyond cricket, he is also a successful singer and he is from...
Dwayne Bravo?
Yeah. So the next one, he made his ODI debut against India. He also won the Player of the Match award in an IPL final. He is the first player from his country to score centuries in all 3 formats. He originally pursued rugby as a child before switching to cricket and he is from South Africa.
Either Callis or AB de Villiers. Neither?
No.
100 in all 3
Friend
formats.
of AB de Villiers.
You what?
He is the friend of AB de Villiers.
He scored 100 in all 3 formats.
He made his ODI debut against India. He won the Player of the Match award in an IPL final.
IPL final.
He's the first player from his country to score centuries in all 3 formats.
First player. Bloody hell.
South Africa. He used to open. Right now he's in commentary, but he was playing IPL till the last season. Friend of AB de Villiers, very close friend.
Faf.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
First player from his country to score 100 in all 3 formats?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask you about that. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Before AB de Villiers?
Yeah.
Check that on Quick Info.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So the next one, he won the Player of the Tournament award in a T20 World Cup. He also won the orange cap in the IPL. He has a triple century to his name. He played his final test in January 2024. He is from Australia. Player of the Tournament in a T20 World Cup. Orange cap in the IPL. Has a triple century to his name in Test cricket. Played his final test in 2024. From Australia. Opening batsman.
I'm sorry, I have no idea.
David Warner.
Ah, damn it. I should have known that.
This or that.
This or that.
Okay. So
All right.
IPL or CPL?
IPL or CPL? In terms of preference?
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I think they're different tournaments. I can't just say this or that. Is there a D's in the middle, this, that, or these? Because CPL is a lovely carnival.
Yeah.
Does a lot of good things for cricket in the Caribbean. It's a different atmosphere, whereas IPL is seriously big cricket and a real conglomeration of cricketing skills. So I think each serves its purpose really, and that's not sitting on the fence. I don't think you can say this or that.
Okay.
These.
Yeah. Okay. So Bumrah or Rabada? As an all format bowler.
All format Bumrah. If the 2 guys are at their peak, all formats, Jasprit.
Okay. Kohli or Root?
All format?
Yeah. Or it can be your preference. Who is your favorite?
No, it's a good question actually. Kohli or Root? All format. I'll go Virat from the point of view that I think numbers show Joe Root in Test match cricket without a doubt. But Kohli is the greatest 50-over player batter that I've seen, the greatest chaser, and of course 9,000 runs. As we sit here, 9,000 IPL runs. He's reinvented himself. So if you take everything into consideration, Virat.
Okay. T20 leagues or international cricket?
T20s or international cricket?
T20 leagues or international?
International cricket is a premium. So I don't know where that falls, this or that. Which one is that? That is international cricket.
Swing bowling or raw pace?
That is raw pace. I mean, you look at Jofra Archer bowling the other night in Jaipur, and I said the day after, as I sat and I thought about it, there were some batsmen who, in that game facing Jofra Archer, who got a sense of their own mortality flashing before their eyes facing Jofra Archer in that game. So raw pace, there's nothing like it.
Okay. Yorker or bouncer?
Yorker or bouncer? It's good. These are hard questions, man. I'm privy to a bouncer myself because my Yorker was no good. So I have a slight bias to the bouncer. But when I see guys like Lassit Malinga of older currency and Jasprit at his best, the Yorker has great spectacular value.
Yeah.
Ask a batter which one he would prefer not to face, and I think it will be the bouncer.
The Indian crowd or Caribbean crowd?
Both are good, but I have a slight, and I'm going to explain this. I have a slight bias because I think there's something with a Caribbean crowd. If you ever come to, let's say, a CPL match in Trinidad and Tobago, and the Trinidad and Tobago franchise is playing, there's a collaboration of colors. There's a collaboration of singing, of soca, which is not my thing, but music playing, again, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a symphony and a harmony about a Caribbean crowd that is special. It's smaller in numbers than the Indian crowd, which has its own energy.
Yeah.
Because I think the bucket list for people the world over, and you'd appreciate this, is coming to the Wankhede, Chipok, Eden Gardens, or the Chinnaswamy, which is one of my favorites, for a full IPL game. I know people that travel the world just to come for one game.
Yeah. So I had read somewhere that the people in Caribbean were a little bit disappointed in the 2007 World Cup when they didn't allow the drums and
yeah, it was. Not only the people in the Caribbean, the people outside of the Caribbean were disappointed as well, because we talk about people coming to Chinnaswamy and stuff, right? But people come to the Caribbean specifically for that. When the Australian fans leave Australia and England to come, and India to come to the Caribbean, the subcontinent, they want that music, they want that color, they want that vibrancy, they want what we call old talk, which is what me and you are doing here. We're not talking anything serious, we're talking old talk, as they say. And when you sanitize the crowd, as it was, it's just like a deadpan, generic atmosphere. So I hope that you come to the Caribbean one day and you get a full taste and embrace of what a full crowd in the Caribbean is like.
100%. So young, fearless batting or classic techniques?
I like both. For example, I have, keep your minds clean, I have a fetish for the straight bat of the classical player.
Okay.
And that's why guys like Sachin Tendulkar, the late Martin Crowe, the Virat Kohlis of this world, I always stop what I'm doing to watch in the women's game. That would have been a Meg Lanning, Hayley Matthews now. Whereas I can also appreciate a Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Abhishek Sharma for their pure destructive power, because I know that if I were bowling against that, I would not survive.
Yeah.
Whereas the classical player allows me to appreciate what they do, but it would also give a bowler like me time to settle in.
Yeah. Commentary box or playing dates?
There's nothing like playing.
Yeah.
although I will never be playing again in any form of the game, if the mere thought of me playing another game of cricket, I'd break out into a cold sweat. So I think playing, you can almost control your own direction, control your own narrative, whether people like you or not. 6 for 45 is 6 for 45, or 150 is 150. Whereas commentary, I love telling the stories, and I get to see the game from a different perspective, which I wish I was able to see as a player. I really do. The things I see from the commentary box, I said, why weren't you seeing these things when you were playing? You would have been a better cricketer, right? But then you can't control whether someone hates you because you're 6'5", or your balls, or your voice is too heavy, or whatever. So from that perspective, the uncontrollables is sometimes difficult, but I hope that people would appreciate that as a commentator. I don't take this for granted. I don't think my colleagues take this for granted. We won't always be correct and get it right, but we're trying our best to relay the stories. It's not about commentators, it's about the player. We are relaying a story. Remember that it's not about the commentators, it's about the players.
So we have had a great match, but it has gone to a super over.
Oh my God.
So let's play some super over.
Oh my
Have you played
God.
super over?
It's late at night, yeah.
So first, best young IPL player right now.
Best young IPL player right now? Mayappa Vhalgule. Without a doubt.
Why was it? One bowler you would love to coach.
One bowler I would love to coach. I'm no good at. If I were to coach anyone, they would have to. It would be a tough school, because I would expect hard work in the same way that I do hard work. But I see a guy like an Ashok Sharma, and I think to myself, wow, 150 kilometers per hour. If we could just fasten or hasten his understanding of bowling in a shorter time period, because he has to go through the process. Exciting.
Okay. One batter you would love to bowl today.
No, I don't think there are too many batters I'd love to bowling to today, because the one issue that I always had was bowling against aggressive guys.
Okay.
It never gave me a time to settle, and I'm the type of guy that likes to prepare and settle in. So the classical guy gave me a little time to respect my good ball, whereas that was one of the challenges I had about bowling against Sachin.
Okay.
He would put my good balls away and put me under pressure. I got him out a couple of times, but I think he dominated me 8, 9 times out of 10. I hated bowling to the aggressive guys.
I was just about to ask, how was it bowling to Sachin Tendulkar?
Tough. I like Sachin. He's someone that I respect. Gets along well. I get along well with him, but he was difficult to bowl to. Because for this, imagine as a fast bowler, I'm looking for some breathing space to set a batsman up. What do I mean by breathing space? I'm looking for a sequence of 2, 3, 4 deliveries, or maybe an over and a half, just to be able to push him back, for example, short of a leg. Sachin wouldn't allow that, because he had this particular shot where he would stand on his toes, and he wasn't a tall guy, and punch the good short of a length delivery down the ground for 4. That never gave me any breathing space, so I found that very hard to deal with.
Okay, so the best cricket ground in the world?
Loads.
Right.
Loads. For all the history, for the architecture, the pristineness of the outfield, the media center, the marriage of the old and the new, the traditional, the historical. I'll tell you, no, I won't go there. I was going to name one ground in India that was now starting to elevate itself in my own consciousness. Because, really?
Yeah.
I was always, going to the Chinnaswamy has always been something that I've looked forward to. The color, the vibrancy, the atmosphere. And then I turned up at the chip up the other day with the covered stands and the yellow of the crowd, and I thought, it's not bad. It's very nice, very pretty. So apologies to everyone else. But Wankede, Chinnaswamy, Chippa. Love it.
Great. One modern rule you don't like. One
Modern rule? I can't think of a modern rule that I don't like. I'm a very law-abiding citizen, so whatever rules are put in place, I tend to follow it. I don't disgust against rules.
Okay. One underrated skill in T20 cricket.
Underrated skill?
Yeah.
In T20 cricket. Yeah, one underrated skill is the ability still of the fast bowler or the seam bowler to hit a good length in the power play.
Okay.
Particularly when the ball is moving laterally a little bit. I'm still very firm on that a good length in that power play, quote unquote, not in the death, in the power play, still has value. And I think young bowlers are trying to be too unpredictable sometimes. And that's why I love what a Josh Hazlewood brings, what a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is bringing with simplicity, what an Anshul Kamboj is bringing in that segment of the game.
Okay. One word for IPL.
One word, exciting.
Okay. One word for West Indies cricket today.
Lots of, that's not one word. How do I concise that?
One sentence.
Yeah, I'll string a few words together. Lots of potential.
Okay. One word for your journey.
My journey?
Yeah.
Blessed.
That's great. So we have been blessed today to have you on our show, and sir, thank you so much.
No, I have been blessed to be a part of your journey, which I will remember forever. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So that's it. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.